With the pre-orders of GTA 6 open and all but the release date confirmed, the hype is real and right on cue because the internet is losing its mind over one specific question. Do I need a PS5 Pro to run it properly? Sony has already come out and said GTA 6 will play best on PS5. The PlayStation Store listing has officially confirmed the game will carry the PS5 Pro Enhanced badge. And with GTA 6 being one of the most anticipated games in the history of gaming, millions of people right now are staring at their wallets trying to figure out if dropping $900 on a console upgrade makes sense. And I get it, but before you pull that trigger, there are some things you seriously need to know, because the answer to should you get a PS5 Pro is not the same for everyone, and some of you genuinely will be throwing money away. Some of you would absolutely not regret it, and a few of you are asking the wrong question entirely. So let's break it all down. What the PS5 Pro actually is, what it actually does, what GTA 6 on the PS5 Pro actually looks like based on what we know, and then most importantly, who should buy it and who should save their money. Let's get into it. First, let's make sure we're all on the same page about what the PS5 Pro actually is, because there's a lot of confusion out there. The PS5 Pro launched in November 2024 as a mid-generation upgrade, not a new console generation. You're not buying a PS5, you're buying a significantly more powerful version of the same PS5 you might already own or be considering. Here are the key hardware differences. The GPU is 45% more powerful than the base PS5, running at a 16.7 teraflops compared to the standard console's 10.28. That is a meaningful jump. The console also comes with a 2TB of built-in SSD storage, double the base model's 1TB, and Wi-Fi 7 supports for faster and more stable online play. The headline feature though, the thing Sony has built the entire PS5 Pro pitch around, is something called PSSR, PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. Think of it like this. Instead of brute forcing every pixel at 4K, the PS5 Pro renders games at a lower resolution internally and then uses AI-powered machine learning to reconstruct a near 4K image that looks sharper and cleaner than what the base PS5 can produce. It's Sony's answer to what Nvidia has been doing with DLSS on PC for years. And it works, sometimes brilliantly. The big caveat, the CPU is essentially the same as the base PS5. That matters a lot for certain types of gamers, and we will come back to that when we talk about GTA 6 specifically. Now for the price. At launch in late 2024, the PS5 Pro was $69.99. Sony raised it to almost $750. Then in April 2026, they raised it again to almost $900 in the USA. That makes it, right now, the most expensive home gaming console ever sold. And critically, it does not come with a disc drive. So if you own physical games, that is an additional $79.99 on top of the $900 price tag. A vertical stand is also sold separately. So realistically, to fully configure a PS5 Pro to match what a standard disc-based PS5 gives you out of the box, you're looking at close to $1,000. Okay, now let's talk about the elephants in the room, GTA 6. Because let's be honest, for a huge chunk of people watching this, GTA 6 might be the reason this video exists. It's the reason the PS5 Pro is suddenly back in every gaming conversation, and there's a real argument that GTA 6 might be the single most compelling reason to own a PS5 Pro right now. Here's what we know. Sony has a major marketing deal with Rockstar Games, and GTA 6 has been confirmed as a PS5 Pro Enhanced title. The game officially carries the PS5 Pro Enhanced badge on the PlayStation Store. Sony has gone all in on marketing this as the best place to play GTA 6, touting features like DualSense haptic feedbacks with adaptive triggers, Tempest 3D audio, controller speaker support, and near-instant load times, powered by the PS5's SSD. On the Pro, all of that sits on top of a further layer of performance enhancements. Based on what we know from other PS5 Pro Enhanced titles, GTA 6 on the Pro should offer improved image quality through PSSR, meaning sharper visuals, better lighting, advanced ray tracing for realistic reflections, and a dynamic weather system that interacts with gameplay physics. A Brazilian Amazon listing also revealed the game would offer improved performance and more stable frame rates on PS5 Pro compared to the base console. Now, this is very important. Rockstar has not confirmed a specific frame rate target for GTA 6, and here's where it gets complicated. Digital Foundry's Richard Leadbetter, one of the most respected technical analysts in gaming, put it plainly: Grand Theft Auto games have always run complex simulations that push the CPU hard, which is why every GTA game has initially launched at 30 FPS. The PS5 Pro uses the same CPU as the PS5, and it would be extremely challenging to hit 60 FPS if the base PS5 version is targeting 30 FPS. This isn't a GPU problem, it's a CPU problem. So what's the most likely scenario here? GTA 6 runs at 30 FPS on both the base PS5 and the PS5 Pro. What the Pro may offer is a more stable version of that 30 FPS, less dipping, fewer frame drops and busy scenes, sharper visuals, and potentially a 40 FPS mode for people with 120Hz displays. That's not nothing. But if you were expecting GTA 6 to magically run at 60 FPS on the PS5 Pro, manage those expectations for now. That said, if GTA 6 is the game you've been waiting years to play and you want to experience it at the absolute peak of what console gaming can offer in 2026, the PS5 Pro is without question the place to do that. Now let's zoom out of GTA 6 and look at what the PS5 Pro actually delivers across the rest of your game library, because unless you're only ever going to play one game, this matters. The honest picture, the PS5 Pro is generally impressive for the right games and largely pointless for the wrong games. In titles that are PS5 Pro enhanced like Battlefield 6, Death Stranding 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Doom, The Dark Ages, Indiana Jones and The Great Circle, Gran Turismo 7 and Marvel's Spider-Man 2, the difference is real and visible. Games that previously forced you to choose between a performance mode at 60 FPS with lower visual quality or a fidelity mode at 30 FPS with beautiful graphics can now run at 60 FPS with the better visuals. That is generally the Pro's biggest selling point, and it delivers there. Ghost of Yotei, Marvel's Wolverine, and 007 First Light are all confirmed to support PS5 Pro mode with guaranteed 60 FPS in quality settings. The game library supporting it is growing. But here's what a year of real-world ownership data tells us. For games that don't have a specific PS5 Pro patch, you often won't notice any difference at all. And the PlayStation Store still doesn't clearly tell you which games are enhanced and which aren't, meaning sometimes you have to dig through Reddit posts and tech blogs just to find out what you're actually getting. There's also this: the PS5 Pro CPU is unchanged. Games that are CPU limited, think massive open worlds with heavy AI simulations, physics, or dense crowd systems, barely benefits from the Pro's extra GPU muscle. The hardware improvement is real, but it's lopsided. Now let's talk about money, because $900 is not a small number, and we need to be real about what it means in 2026. We are living through one of the most expensive periods in consumer electronics history. The global RAM crisis and storage crisis driven by the massive surge in AI data centers has pushed component costs through the roof. Sony has raised PS5 Pro prices twice since its launch, and there are no signs of this getting better anytime soon. Here's what $900 might buy you in context. You could buy a base PS5 Slim at $649 and have $250 left over for games. You could buy 4 to 5 full-price games for that price alone. The base PS5 plays every single PS5 Pro game. You lose 0 titles by not having the Pro. There are no PS5 Pro exclusives whatsoever. Every game available on the PS5 Pro is also available on the base PS5. The Pro is about how you play, not what you play. And here's also another thing nobody wants to say out loud. If you do not own a 4K TV that supports 120Hz, you will barely notice the difference. Not because the PS5 Pro isn't powerful, it is, but PSSR and the performance gains are only fully visible on the right display. On a 1080p TV or a 60Hz screen, you are spending $900 and leaving the majority of what you paid for on the table. The honest truth is that the PS5 Pro is a premium product built for a specific type of person, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, as long as you're honest with yourself about whether you are that person. Now, there's one more factor that needs to be part of this conversation, and it's the one that might actually change your decision more than anything else, which is the PlayStation 6. Now, the PlayStation 6 is expected to launch in 2027, with some analysts pushing that window to 2028, given the ongoing global components crisis we mentioned earlier. Sony hasn't officially announced it, no price has been officially confirmed, but here's what we do know. At current component prices, a next-gen console launching in 2027 or 2028 is likely to cost more than $1,000 at launch. So the question isn't just, is the PS5 Pro worth $900? The question is the PS5 Pro worth $900 when the PS6 might be just here in 12 to 18 months and is going to cost even more? Here's the glass half full take. Even if PS6 launches in 2027, Sony historically continues supporting previous generation for years. The PS5 will likely receive cross-gen game support well into the PS6 era, meaning the investment you make in the PS5 Pro today still has years of life in it. Plus, early PS6 launch libraries are going to be thin. Paying $1,000 plus to play 3 or 4 launch titles while the library builds, that's a tough sell too. Now here's the glass half empty take. If you wait, you might save yourself from making a mid-generation purchase that feels redundant the moment PS6 is announced with a specific launch date. Historically, the moment a new console generation is confirmed, interest in mid-generation upgrades collapse. There is no perfect answer here, but it's a question you should genuinely factor into your decision. Alright, I've been talking for a minute now, but let's get to the verdict. Based on everything I've covered in this video, here's the honest breakdown. You should be going for the PS5 Pro if you do not already own a PS5 and you're entering into the PlayStation ecosystem fresh. In this case, you're not upgrading, you're buying the best version of the platform from day one. The value proposition is the strongest in this point. 2 is if you own a 4K TV with 120Hz refresh rate and HDMI 2.1. Without this, you're basically paying $900 for games you literally cannot see. With it, the PS5 Pro will reward you every single session. 3. GTA 6 might be your most anticipated game and you want to experience it at peak console quality on day one. Sony has a marketing partnership with Rockstar. The Pro is officially enhanced and the immersive PS5 features, haptics, 3D audio, near instant loading are all there. If GTA 6 is your game, this is your console. Another point is that you care deeply about visual fidelity and frame rate. You're the type of person who has an opinion about performance mode versus fidelity mode. Then the PS5 Pro was built for you. And lastly, you're a heavy PlayStation gamer who plays many first-party Sony exclusives. Ghost of Yotei, Marvel's Wolverine, 007 First Light. These are all PS5 Pro enhanced and will look and run better on the PS5 Pro. Now, I would say you should skip a PS5 Pro if you already own a base PS5 and your setup is a 1080p TV or a 60Hz display. Seriously, the upgrade gains will be nearly invisible to you, and $900 is a lot of money to spend to feel the same. Secondly, if you play mostly at 60 FPS and you're satisfied with how games look on your current PS5, the base PS5 is still an excellent console that runs every modern game well. You're not missing out on games, only on incremental visual upgrades. Thirdly, you primarily play competitive online games like Call of Duty or FIFA. At 60 FPS on a 60Hz display, the PS5 Pro's advantage is minimal. You would not feel the difference. And also, if budget is a real concern to you, $900 or closer to $1,000 fully configured with a disk drive is a significant financial commitment. In an era of rising prices and squeezed household budgets, there is absolutely no shame in waiting. And finally, I think you should skip the PS5 Pro if you're expecting GTA 6 to run at 60 FPS on the PS5 Pro. If that's the sole reason you're considering buying one, please reread the Digital Foundry analysis we covered. It very likely won't. And buying a $900 console based on an assumption that hasn't been confirmed is a risky move. Now, here's the bottom line. The PS5 Pro is a genuinely impressive piece of hardware. It is the best console gaming experience money can buy in 2026. For the right person, someone with a 4K 120Hz display who plays heavily enhanced titles who wants the best possible version of GTA 6, it absolutely earns its price tag. But for a lot of people watching this, the base PS5 is still more than enough. Every game, every exclusive, the full PlayStation experience for hundreds of dollars less. Don't buy the PS5 Pro because of hype. Don't buy it because GTA 6 is coming and you feel like you're supposed to. Buy it because you've honestly assessed your setup, your habits, and your budget, and it genuinely makes sense for you. That's the advice I would give a friend, and that's the advice I'm giving you. If this helped you, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We're going to keep covering a lot of topics in the gaming space, GTA 6, the PS5 Pro, and everything happening as it develops. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. As usual, any feedback from you guys would be greatly appreciated.